Hi, this is Alexis Gumapas from Bit by Bit Code, here to teach you week 3 of our advanced web development course. Today we will be building a multi-page website. This website will feature a home page, about page, species page, take action page, and an FAQ. So let's get started. Begin by opening a new project in code.org's web lab. Let's rename our project to be called Save Our Oceans. Now let's begin writing the HTML, which we can then style with our CSS. So let's begin. First, let's first let's delete everything so that we can start with a blank canvas. Now we will type greater than doc type HTML and then close parentheses. Then let's write the tag HTML lang equals en. This is setting our language for our website to be English. Now let's write a header. Let's write the tag for our head. And in our head, we will write meta char set equals UTF-8 and then close the tag. Now let's write meta name equals in quotations viewport, then content equals width equals device minus width initial dash scale equals 1.0, and then let's close that tag. Now let's give it the title, which is the name of our web lab, and this will be Save Our Oceans, and then let's close the tag, close the title tag, title. Now let's link our and reference our style sheet. So write the tag link rel equals style sheet, and the reference will be the name of the file, so that would be style.css. Then let's close the tag and close the head. Now let's begin writing the code for our body. So let's do the tag body. Then let's give it a div and give it the division the class wrapper. Then end the tag. Then let's start by making our navigation bar. So do nav and then give it the class main nav. And then close the tag. And then let's begin by making the bulleted list as our main navigation. So UL, and then let's begin by writing our individual list items that will reference each of our pages. So actually, let's begin by adding the HTML for our new pages so that we can reference them in our navigation. So we will be having four, I think five. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we can delete one of these. So delete. And the index HTML will be our home. So then we can have our about page, and then our species HTML, our take, oops, our, oh, whoops, I renamed that one. Oh, okay. Oh, it's right here. So actually what they're doing is reordering it for me to be in alphabetical order, but so then let's do this one as take action HTML, and then the last one will be contact, oh, will be our FAQ section. So now we have all of our HTML pages. So now we can go back into our index and begin listing them out for our navigation bar. So first, let's write our home page. So that would be our index HTML, and then the what will be appearing on the screen will be our the home item. So then let's end the list item, and then we can just copy and paste this same code to as for all five of our pages in the website. So then let's reference our about page, and this will be called about. Then our species page, which will be named species. Then our take action page will be called take action. And lastly, our FAQ will be written as FAQ. So let's refresh, and now you can see our navigation bar that redirects us to different parts of our website. So then let's end the UL, then end the navigation bar. So now we have our navigation, our main navigation for all of our for our website. So now let's write a header. So we'll do header and then give it the class hero, and then close the tag, and then our header will be save our oceans, and then let's close the tag. Now let's write a tagline for our to go below our header. So let's do a paragraph tag, and then let's give it the class tagline, then close that tag. And then let's write the tagline, every ripple counts, every voice matters. So then let's close our paragraph tag, and then let's refresh the page to see our header and our tagline. Now let's do our intro section. So section, section, and then give it the class intro, and then let's do the paragraph tag. Welcome to save our oceans, a youth-led campaign raising awareness and action to protect marine life from pollution, overfishing, and climate change. Ready to make waves? So that's our intro for our website. So then let's close the paragraph tag and then end this section. Okay, lastly, on our homepage, we're going to do a footer for our copyright. So then let's do footer and then paragraph, and then I'm going to just copy the copyright symbol but you could just find it online. So copyright 2025, save our oceans, protect what you love, paragraph, and then end the footer and the division, and then close the body and the HTML. Okay, so now we can refresh and we see our introduction section and our footer. So now we can go into our about page and write the code to, I guess, for our about page. So firstly, as you can see in our finished website, each of the HTML pages have their own navigation bar, so we can actually just copy um, the beginning from from line 21 with our navigation bar, and just copy and paste that to each of our HTML pages, just so that we can save some time. So I'm going to copy this, copy it here, and here, oops, here, and lastly here. Okay, so now let's go into our about page and write more of write the rest of the code. So let's start with a section. Let's start with a section, and then give it the class about. And so now let's write a header. So we'll do h2 about, and then the header will be about save our oceans, and then close the tag. Oh, so now let's write a paragraph of what our website is about. So save our oceans is a youth powered initiative committed to ocean advocacy. What began as a classroom project grew into a movement to educate and empower others to reduce plastic waste, support conservation, and amplify the voices of marine life. Then let's close the paragraph and then close the section. And then yet again, we're going to copy and paste the footer from our index HTML, and let's just copy and paste from the beginning of the footer tag to the very end of the bottom of the HTML. So there we go. Now we have our header, our about section, and then our footer. So then let's go on to our species section, our species HTML, to, I guess, do the same thing. So let's copy our main navigation, and then, oh wait, we actually have that already copied in each one. I forgot. So let's do a section class, and we're going to do this sort of card layout for our three species. So as you can see, they're like kind of on different cards, and then the card gets like enlarged as you when you put your cursor above it. So let's do section class equals menu, and then we're gonna do our header first, and will be um, this will be endangered marine species, and then close the tag. Then we're going to give it a division and give it the class menu dash grid, and then let's give it the division class card for the. Now that we have started writing the code for our cards, it's time to import the images for our species um, our species list so that we can add it into our code. So let's click add image, and I already have the three images saved, but you can go onto Google and download whatever image you'd like to add onto the cards. So I'm going to upload file, and then I'm going into my downloads, and I will add the sea turtle, JPEG, the staghorn coral, staghorn or coral, downloads. Oh, coral, staghorn. Okay, I think that I might have not downloaded this one. So as you can see, just go into Google and search up the animal you'd like, and then you can save the image into your computer or whatever device you are using. So now I'm going to add this image into our into our into our project. And now let's add the hammerhead shark. So again, go into Google and find whatever image that you'd like to use. I'm going to use this image. So save image, and I'll just save it as shark. So now I'm going to upload our shark file, and we have our 3 images that we can add into our project. So now that we have our images, let's begin by sourcing our images to add into our cards. So do greater than image source, and then the the name of the image that you'd like to add. So I'm going to do the shark JPEG. Then I'm going to write alt, and this gives information about the image if it doesn't load or for disabled people. Then I'm going to write the header hammer head shark to name our species, and then close the tag. Now let's do the image, the information about the hammerhead shark. So we can do span class, and then we're going to write a class to style this in our CSS, and our class will be price, and then we're going to write that this is a vulnerable species. Then close the span, and then close the div, and then and then close the other div, and then close this section. Now we have three more cards that we have to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste from this section, and then I'm going to Control V 2 times so that we can just so that we can reuse the code for our 3 different cards. So the first one will be sea turtle, and then this will be sea turtle as our alt text. Then the header will be sea turtle as well, and then we will write under our span that this is a critically endangered species. Now, and I've accidentally, so we can delete this header because we don't want it to tell us that it's endangered 3 times. So just once. And then for our second one, we'll do the staghorn coral, and then the alt text will be coral reef. And then our header for this will be staghorn coral. And then the information about the species is that it is a threatened species. So now let's refresh and see our cards. So now we have added all the images, and we are going to have to style it in CSS so that it can appear as this card view. So let's just add in our footer, and I'm just going to copy this from our index. So Control C and then Control V. And there we go. We have finished our species page. Okay, so now let's write the code for our take action page. So again, we already have our navigation copy and pasted. And now let's start writing our contact section. So let's do a section and then give it the class contact and then close the tag. And then we're going to write a header, and this will be the header will be take the pledge and then close the h2 tag. And so now we're going to write code for our individual text boxes in our take action. So first will be the text box for our name. So label for and then name, and then this will be then the text above will be name semicolon or I mean sorry colon, and then close the label, and this creates a text box for our name. And now let's do the same time. Now let's do the input type. So our type the input type for our name will obviously be a text, and then the ID will be name, and we'll write that this has to be a required text box for you to fill in. Now let's copy and paste these two lines of code so that we can reuse it for the two other text boxes that we are creating. So label for, and this second text box will be email, and we will be asking for our email as the header, and then the input type is going to also be an email. The ID is email, and then for our third text box, the name is going to be a pledge, and then this will be the question: what action will you take to help the ocean? And then the input type will be the input type will be a text, but we're actually going to change this code so that we can increase the text area to four enter bars, so you have more space to write, as this is going to be like a full sentence that they have to answer. So text area ID is going to be pledge, and then we're going to give them 4 rows to write out their pledge. And then we're also going to make this a required section, and then close the sorry here, and then let's close the text area. Now let's create a button so that the users can submit their pledge. So button type equals submit, and then we're going to give it the class button btn, and then the sort of text that will show up on the button will be submit, and then let's close the tag, and then let's close the form and close the section. Now let's again copy and paste our footer onto our take action HTML. So go back into your index and just copy and paste. And as you can see, it kind of looks a little bit wonky because we haven't styled the text boxes, but we'll get to that after we finish all of our pages. So now let's go into our FAQ and take a look at our original web page. And so these are just going to be frequently asked questions. So let's get started. So let's create a section, and we're going to give the section class and name it FAQ. Then let's write a header, so H2, and this will be frequently asked questions. Close the tag. Now let's do the details and summary. So details, and then we're going to write our summary, which will be the questions on top. So the first question is, how can I help protect the ocean? And then let's close the summary or the question. So close the tag, and then let's write a paragraph for our response. So you can help the ocean by using less plastic, volunteer for cleanups, support sustainable seafood, and spread awareness. Exclamation mark, and then close the paragraph tag. Then we can close the details to end the question, and this will be our individual box for this question. So now let's reuse this so that we can just, for our three questions, so control V. And so for our second question, will be, is ocean pollution really that bad? So that is our question, and then under our inside our paragraph tags, we can write our response. So our response will be yes. Over 8 million tons of plastic enter the ocean every year. It's a crisis we can solve together. And lastly, for our third question, it will be, can students really make a difference? So delete the question, and then in our summary, write, can students really make a difference? Then in our paragraph, we'll write our response. So our response will be, absolutely. Youth voices are powerful. Every small action inspires others and creates impact. And there we go. Now let's close the section. Close section. And then again, let's just copy our footer into our FAQ section. So go into our index, Control C, and FAQ, and Control V. So now we have our questions, and if you click onto the box, you can see the response to each individual question. So now that we are done writing all the code for our different pages, we can now go into our CSS and style our pages so that they look much nicer. Okay, so let's begin by writing our CSS. So let's delete the original code, and then let's begin by establishing our root colors. So write :root, and then inside the curly brackets, we'll write our primary color, which will be the hex code 38BDF8, semicolon, and then let's write our accent color, colon, and then this will be the hex code 0EEA5E9, and then separate the color with a semicolon. Next, our light background will be BG-light, and then it will be the hex code F0FDF4, semicolon. Next, our dark background, so BG dash dark will be the hex code 1E3A8A. Next, our light text will be text dash light colon, and this will be the hex code 0F172A semicolon. Our dark text dash dark colon hashtag F1 F5 F9 semicolon, and then our highlight color will be the hex code 22D3EE semicolon, and then lastly, let's establish our card radius. So this will be 12 pixels. Okay, so now let's begin by stylizing the body. So curly bracket, and then our font family will be Sego UI, and this will be with sans serif, and then our margin will be 0. Our background dash color will var, and this will be dash dash background light semicolon, and then our color or our text color will var, and this will be our text dash light. Then our transition will be background 0.3s, color 0.3s. Dot wrapper, curly bracket, max dash width 960px, margin 0 auto, padding 1 rem to separate the text from the screen. Now let's customize our navigation bar. So dot main dash nav ul list dash style none. So that takes away the bullet points. Now let's give it 0 padding, and then display flex, which allows it to be horizontal. Then let's justify, so this will allow it to be the navigation bar to be displayed onto the center. And then let's give it each a gap of 2 rem to space out our content. And then let's do our background color. So that will var, and this will be our primary color so that the navigation bar is separated by this darker color. Now let's give it a bottom margin so of 1 rem, and then let's give it a border radius, and this will var, and this will be our card dash radius. Okay, so we customize our navigation bar. Oops, and I forgot to, there we go. And now let's do a little bit more. So dot main dash nav a curly bracket text decoration none to get rid of the underline. Then let's change the text color to white so that's more visible. And lastly, let's make the font weight to be bold. And there we go. Now let's customize another one, our hero class. Hello?
And I'm just going to put a bunch of enters so that we have more space. So dot hero, curly bracket, text dash align, center, and then padding will be 2 rem, 1 rem, semicolon, oops, and I forgot to, you don't put a space in between. Then our background color, background dash color, and that's going to var and with our accent. Then our text color will be white. Our border radius is going to also var with our card radius. So now let's customize the header. So curly bracket margin 0, then our font size will be 3 rem, and then let's customize the tagline. So dot tagline, curly bracket, and then our font size will be 1.2 rem, and then the font weight will be 400. Now let's customize the dot intro, dot about, dot menu, dot contact, and dot FIQ, and then our curly bracket. And then let's give it a margin of 2 rem 0, and then let's give the padding, our left padding will be 1 rem. Our left border will be 4px solid var with our accent color, so dash dash accent, semicolon. And now let's begin by customizing the grid menu for our endangered species. So type dot menu dash grid, semicolon, curly bracket, display will be grid, and then grid dash template dash columns, and this will be repeat, and it will auto fit with the size of your screen. And then min max 220px 1fr, and then semicolon, then the gap will be 1.5 rem, and then our top margin will be 1 rem. And semicolon. Now let's begin by customizing our card layout. So actually we can look at our cards so that we can see it as it is. Oh wait, never mind. Okay, as we are customizing, so dot card, and let's make the background to be white. Then let's give it a border radius. Border dash radius var, and this will be with our card dash radius. Then our box shadow, and this is just the shadow for our box, 0.4 pixels, 12px, RGBA 000 and then let's align the text to the center. Then let's give it a padding of 1 rem. Then lastly, our transition, which allows it to enlarge when we put it onto our cursor onto the card. So that will be transform 0.2 seconds. Now let's actually write the code for the hovering. So dot card hover, and then it's going to transform with a scale of 1.05, which allows it to enlarge in. Now let's customize the card image so that it's all near the same size. So dot card image curly bracket width 100%, border radius var dash dash card dash radius semicolon. Okay, now let's customize the header for our cards. So dot card h3 margin will be 0.5 rem 0. Then let's customize the info for our cards. So dot price, and then the color will be our accent color, accent semicolon, and then let's change the font weight to be bold, and then let's change the input text area. So let's go into our take action, and then let's input that comma text area curly bracket width. Oops. Okay, width will be 100%. Width, and then our padding will be 0.6 rem. Our bottom margin will be 1 rem. Border will be 2 pixels solid, and then the hex code hashtag CCC. Then our border radius will be 6 pixels. 6 pixels. Our font family will be the same, so inherit. And then the transition will be border dash color 0.2s. And then let me make a little bit more space so you can see the code better. So then let's write for when the text box is, when you're on the text box, it'll focus onto that area. So text input focus, text area also focus, curly bracket, border dash color. So the color of the border that of the text box that you're in will change into our accent color. So var dash dash accent, and then our outline will be none. Now let's customize our button. So dot button curly bracket. Our background color will also be our accent color. So var dash dash accent. Our text color will be white. Our padding will be 0.6 rem, and then 1.2 rem. And then our border will be none, and our border dash radius will be 6 pixels, and the cursor will be pointer. Then let's add code for when you hover over the button, it turns a darker color. So dot button colon hover, and this will change the background dash color to the hex code 0284C7. Okay, so let's see. As you can see, it changes to a darker blue when you hover your mouse over it. So now, finally, let's customize our FAQ section. So let's start with the details. So details, and then curly bracket. Our background will be the hex code E0F2FE. Our margin will be 1 rem 0. Our padding padding will be 1 rem. Our left border dash left, will be 4 px solid var, and this will be our primary color. Then our border radius will be 6 pixels. Then let's customize the questions. So summary, font dash weight is bold, cursor is pointer, and finally, let's customize our footer. So footer, curly bracket, text dash align is center, padding will be 1 rem, our background color is going to vary with our primary, then our text color will be white, our top margin will be 2 rem, and our border radius will vary with our card radius. So we have finished creating our website, and congratulations, you have made a nonprofit website that helps save the ocean.